Hey everyone, it's Red76. I'm back with another Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies video, and this is going to be on Die Maschine for the D.I.E machine. This is the wonder weapon, otherwise known as the Decompressive Isotopic Estrangement machine. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can acquire it through the main quest way, because you are going to need it for the main quest Easter egg, and I'll also show you all the upgrades and how to do them. This wonder weapon can also be acquired through doing the trials on the computer, and it becomes a legendary reward. It has to be legendary as far as I understand. Also, it can be acquired through, I don't know if it can be acquired through the box. I think it can, but only after it's been unlocked or freed from the little generator room in the bunker, because that's where it's located. And then it can also be acquired through the coffin dance Easter egg, but I think I've only seen it one time come out of that loot crate at the end of the coffin dance. So, as usual, get the power on, forge the pack-a-punch machine, in other words, make the pack-a-punch machine after you collect the part for it. Go ahead and try to get the Aetherscope done as early as possible, and then do this. If you're not trying to do the main quest Easter egg, then don't worry about the Aetherscope, I guess. But after all that's done, you need to kill the first megaton that comes in, which is the guy right here that I'm fighting. He'll split, and after you've killed the second half, he's going to drop a key card. You need to go over and collect that key card. I think you have to press the use button to collect it. After that's done and you collect the key card, you need to go down into the weapons lab, and there's a small room in there where the mystery box spawns. Opposite of the mystery box spawn, you need to put the key card in the slot. When you do that, that drawer is going to open and you can see the Die remote. So pick that up, and you're going to use it to locate the Die Machine, or D.I.E machine, whichever one you want to call it. But the D.I.E remote will automatically signal where the Die Machine is. It's always going to be here in the living room in this bunker, in the small generator room.
D.I.E signal detected.
What you need to do now that you've located it is don't hit the action button or anything. Start a new round, gather up a whole bunch of zombies in a horde, and you're going to train them. I usually use the yard. It seems to be the best area. It's open, and I haul ass inside of that bunker and go back to that little hole in the wall and hit the action button, and it's going to create suction, and you want to run the zombies past the suction of the door. You're going to see it. This will kill the zombies, but it won't kill all of them, so be watching your back, keep your head on a swivel. It's a dangerous area. It's very tight space.
E-signal detected. Initiating remote activation. Weapon storage activated. Fire when ready.
After you get enough zombie kills, it's going to notify you that it's ready. So you go back up to that hole in the wall and press the use button again, and it's going to blow the door off the hinges. I would only do this when you can thin the zombies out and you have maybe one or two left. Don't try to do it when there's a whole horde. Once the door is off the hinges, you can go inside and pick up the wonder weapon.
Oh, of course. Leave it to the Nazis to create a weapon that literally spells out die. Do you think they even knew they were the baddies?
Die Machine can't be Pack-a-Punch, and you can't add an ammo mod. However, you can upgrade it with 4 different upgrades, which I'm about to show you here in a minute. So the regular weapon after you acquire it is called the Die Shockwave. This weapon has 2 different ways to fire. One is the normal left trigger. You fire the gun and it shoots a shockwave. That's the normal way. And the right trigger, the secondary, is suction. Suction is available on all the upgrades as well. But it also allows you to gain ammo from sucking the zombies or any enemy, pretty much, into the weapon. And if you get a kill, that's what adds to the ammo.
I never waste life. Your filthy lives are worthless. Max ammo.
Alright, so that's the Shockwave. That's the default version of the weapon. Now we're moving on to the Nova 5 upgrade. So you're going to go right here, up in the house, go down this ramp, look straight across, use the suction ability, and it's going to bring the empty canister over to you. If you can't use the suction ability, you just need to fire the weapon once. Make sure that you're aiming at the canister so you can bring it over to you, and just hold the use button to pick it up. At this point you need a plague hound. If there are none available, wait for a plague hound round. Otherwise, lead one of them, or 2 of them, down to the weapons lab. You're going to drop down. If you're facing Deadshot Daiquiri, you'll turn right and it's in the far left corner. You need to place the empty canister there. This is a cleaning unit and it will suck the plague hound gas into it after you kill it.
That container filled up with that gas coming off those poor dogs. Oh, I can only imagine the smell.
Now that the canister is full of plague hound gas, all you need to do is hold the use button on it to take it, and you're going to go up to the crash site. Go to this weapon crate right here that's wrapped in vines. You need to hold the use button on it so you can place the plague hound gas canister on it, step back, and shoot the canister.
Nova 5? If the Nazis weaponized it for close combat, can't imagine it's as lethal as Nova 6. Maybe hold your breath when firing, just in case.
The explosion from the canister will destroy the vines that are wrapped around the weapon crate, which will make it accessible. You just walk up to it, hold the use button on it, and you can upgrade to the Nova 5. This is a decent upgrade. There are a lot of people who don't seem to really like this upgrade. You can walk through the gas after you fire it and it won't hurt you, but it does hurt the zombies. It does take some getting used to, and I don't care for it as much. It's probably my least favorite, and in my opinion, it's probably the least effective upgrade. However, if you train the zombies a bit and then fire into the first few, they seem to sometimes get stuck into the gas, and it just damages them until they either die or until they're able to be easily picked off. So I'm not saying anything bad about the upgrade. I do think it's effective, and I do think with practice, if you use it a bit more and try to get used to it, I think you'll get better with it. I just think that a lot of people want that immediate effectiveness of damage, and Nova 5 doesn't necessarily do that, but in the hands of an expert or in the hands of someone who does like it, it can be quite effective. I definitely like this upgrade more than when I first started using the upgrade, just because I'm learning how to use it a little bit more effectively. Alright, now for the second upgrade, which is the thermophasic upgrade. You can do these in any order, but there are certain steps that you have to do in order to get certain upgrades. So since I'm doing it from the least, I guess, effective upgrade to the highest effective upgrade, that's the way I'm doing it. For the thermophasic, you do need to activate the 3 ghost diary sequences. Now, in order to do that, you do need to have the Aetherscope equipped. I do have a video link down below that will show you how to collect all the Aetherscope parts and how to build it, and then you can move on to this step, which is the thermophasic. So, assuming you've already done the Aetherscope, you have it equipped, you're going to go through this portal here. You always travel with this portal at the medical bay to view all 3 ghost sequences, the diary ghost sequences. Now, before we do that, you do need to collect a fuse. You don't have to go to the Dark Aether to shoot the box open, which is this fuse box right here on the ground. But going to the Dark Aether makes it easier because the cockpit will be levitating and you can get to the box. You probably ought to use a bullet weapon because, as you can see, my Die Machine and my ray gun didn't work to open it. But when I shot it with the shotgun, it opened it up. So just use a bullet type weapon, a shotgun, an SMG, whatever. Walk up and collect the fuse part. Just hold the use button on the fuse and you'll collect it and put it in your inventory. Now I'm going to show you how to do the ghost sequences. Again, there are 3 ghost diary sequences, and you do need to go back to the medical bay. You also have to be in the Dark Aether to be able to view the ghosts and collect the diary. Now here I stopped by the weapons lab, and when you drop down, the plasma cutter is not there, and that's because you do have to activate the 3 ghost diary sequences. You do have to give them the diary, and you do have to have the fuse. But even if you don't have the fuse, I think the plasma cutter will appear there after doing the ghost diary. So, not trying to confuse anybody, but be sure to go into the Dark Aether, make sure that you have the Aetherscope, that way you can locate the ghosts, because that's what detects the anomalies. I did go back to the weapons lab just to see if the plasma cutter was there, and it's not. You have to be in the Dark Aether for the plasma cutter to appear there, and you have to do the ghost diary steps, along with getting the diary, and then you'll need the fuse, which is what you're going to put into the plasma cutter. So, stepping back real quick, you've collected the fuse, you have the Aetherscope, now you need to go to this portal here in the medical bay, and you're ready to go see the ghosts. Come into this room right here. You'll be teleported into the Dark Aether. Hold the use button on the diary to pick it up, and then drop down right below this area and activate the anomaly by holding the use button, and then you'll need to hold the use button on the anomaly to give the ghost the diary. After you've given Vogel the diary, at this point the enemies won't attack you. As long as you stay there in the sequence, you don't shoot at the enemies at all, you won't be attacked. You can sit and watch the entire sequence if you want to, but if you are pressed for time, or if you don't want to watch it, or if you've already seen it, whatever, if you want to move on to the next ghost, just go upstairs to the control room to the next one. The anomaly will be detected. Hold the use button on it, and then once the ghost appears, hold the use button on him again to give him the diary. Again, the enemies won't attack you, and you don't have to wait through the whole sequence if you don't want to. If you want to move on to the next ghost, you need to go down to the particle accelerator room and go to the workbench just below the Pack-a-Punch machine. This is the workbench that the Aetherscope is built at. The anomaly will be detected by the Aetherscope. Hold the use button on the anomaly, and then hold the use button on the ghost to give him the diary. If at any time in between ghosts you get teleported back to the real world, you may have to do a round or two. Just go back to the medical bay on the upper level above Speakola, and the portal should reappear there. Take that and you can begin the next ghost sequence. Alright, after collecting the fuse and after collecting the diary from the Dark Aether when you're in the medical bay on the 2nd level, and after activating all 3 Vogel ghost diary sequences, while in the real world, you're going to return to the medical bay 2nd level and enter a password into the Der Wäschler console.
I am true force of
Now there's something you don't see in your average neo-Nazi secret bunker.
By the looks of it, it was built specifically for the undead. But why? An attempt to restore brain functionality? Perhaps an effort to create a more docile obedient creature?
Now you're going to go to this portal here in the pond just outside of the crash site. This one will only spawn here after you've done the 3 Vogel ghost diary sequences. Activate that portal, you'll be teleported back to the Dark Aether, and you'll need to make your way down to the weapons lab. Once you get there, you need to drop down below the nuke, and opposite of the Deadshot Daiquiri machine is the plasma cutter. Hold the use button on the plasma cutter, and you'll put the fuse on it, and then it will cut a hole into the weapon crate. After the plasma cutter cuts a hole in the weapon crate, you'll automatically be teleported back to the real world, where you can then go up to the pond and locate a truck there. Once you locate the truck, you'll see that the weapon crate is sitting on the bed of the truck. So just jump up onto the bed and hold the use button on the weapon crate, and you'll upgrade to the thermophasic. This upgrade, I think, is a little bit better than the Nova 5, personally. I like it, and if you can get the zombies into a horde while training them, just turn around and fire into them, and it will do some pretty significant damage. Let me remind you that you don't have to do these all in any particular order, but this is just the order that seems to work for me, and I'm doing it in the order from the least effective to the most effective as far as damage. For those who weren't aware, you do have to have all 4 upgrades done if you're doing the Seal the Deal Easter egg, which is the main quest. Alright, now we're moving on to the 3rd upgrade. This is the ice upgrade, otherwise known as the cryo emitter. So here you're going to need to go to the pond area. You could probably go to the mezzanine if you wanted to, but the pond area seems to be better because you have a better view of that wooden crate up there. But you will need the shockwave. In other words, you'll need the default version of the Die Machine in order to shoot that wooden crate down. I have tried numerous other weapons, bullet type weapons like SMGs, I think, maybe ARs, I don't know, LMGs or something, but definitely have tried the ray gun. I've tried the Nova 5 variant of the Die Machine. I have tried throwing C4 on that box and nothing, even rocket launchers. I've shot a rocket launcher at the thing and nothing would take it down. The only thing that I've been able to take that crate down with is the shockwave version of the Die Machine, which is the default version. If you have an upgrade like Nova 5 or thermophasic or something, all you need to do is go back to that same upgrade. So if you have the Nova 5 upgrade, go back to it and hold the use button on that crate and it will switch it back to the default version of the gun. At some point during the game, when you get a megaton, have them shoot this fungus on this tree. Just line up the tree in between you and the megaton, and when he shoots at you, he'll hit the tree and it will activate the fungus. You need this part done for the cryo emitter.
Did you see that? The chemical reaction occurring to that fungus. Could be useful for something.
It doesn't really matter when you get that part done as long as you get it done if you are trying to do the cryo emitter upgrade. Just remember, if you have an upgrade for the Die Machine, you need to go back to the weapon crate that you got that upgrade at and hold the use button on it, and it will revert the Die Machine back to the default version, so you'll have the shockwave version of it. You need the shockwave variant of that weapon in order to get that wooden crate shot down and broken open, where the flask comes out of it. That's the only way that I've seen how to get that wooden crate down. If you know another way, then you can post in the comments and tell everybody else. That's the only way I know how to do it, though, so far. As you saw in the video, just shoot down the wooden crate with the shockwave variant of the Die Machine, and then walk over and pick up the flask, hold the use button to do that. Go over to the fungus on the tree and either hold the use button on the fungus, or maybe hold the use button on the ground below the fungus, and the character will place the flask beneath the fungus. Give it maybe a round or so, and the fungus will drip some kind of blue liquid into it. I believe it's called mutated fungus cryogenic liquid. Once you see that the flask is full of the blue liquid, just go over to it, hold the use button on it to pick it up, and then you can head back down to the medical bay.
Appears to be some kind of chemical freezing agent. Huh. Weaponized liquid nitrogen. Not bad, that.
So as you saw there, just go up to the weapon crate and hold the use button on it, and the character will pour the mutated fungus cryogenic liquid on it, and it will destroy the chains, allowing you access to the new upgrade. After that, just hold the use button on the weapon crate, and you'll have the new cryo emitter weapon upgrade for the Die Machine. This upgrade, I think, is really cool. It reminds me of Mr. Freeze's gun, and when you shoot it, it freezes the zombies in place. It even sounds like it, I think. Just the way that it shoots out of the gun and everything just totally reminds me of Mr. Freeze from Batman. This is probably my second favorite upgrade to the Die Machine, with the Shockwave being maybe my third favorite variant, the Cryo Emitter being my second favorite, and then the Electrobolt being my first favorite. Also, I believe that the Cryo Emitter and the Electrobolt probably do the most damage to the Megatons when they're in full, and also when they're the Megaton Bomber and Megaton Blaster. It seems to damage them very quickly. So if you're ever needing to lower their health and then maybe finish them off for a challenge with one of your other weapons because you need elite kills or something, this is the best way to do it, is just use the Die Machine with the Cryo Emitter or the Electrobolt. Alright, now on to the fourth and final upgrade. This is going to be the electricity upgrade, otherwise known as the Electrobolt. The Electrobolt upgrade, just like the thermophasic, has to have the 3 diary ghost sequences done, just like before, okay? So you have to have that done before you can open up this portal. As far as I understand it, this portal will open up after those 3 ghosts have been initiated with the diary, and the password has been put in that computer up in the medical bay, as well as the other portal that spawns in the pond area near the crash site that we took for the thermophasic. So use the portal down in the particle accelerator room on the lower level just below the Pack-a-Punch, and you're going to travel back to the Dark Aether. Once there, you're going to need to locate 3 crystals. They're a yellow-orangish type color. Fire the Die Machine once or twice, that way it lowers the ammunition and you could use the suction ability on it. You'll need to use the suction ability on the crystals to suck the essence in. Now, at this point, you don't want to fire the gun or maybe even use the suction ability. You can switch the gun to another weapon, but don't fire it or use the suction ability. While in the Dark Aether, that's when you can see the crystals. They won't show up in the real world. And after sucking the essence out of a crystal, you need to head directly down to the particle accelerator room where this weapon crate is and fire it into that. It'll light up a light bulb. I think it might be a vacuum tube, I'm not really sure, but there are 3 of them on that weapon crate. You'll need to rinse and repeat this process. You can't suck the essence out of all 3 crystals and then go shoot the crate. You have to do 1 crystal, crate, 1 crystal, crate, 1 crystal, and crate. So now we're going to go up to the pond. This is where the second crystal is. And no, it doesn't matter which crystal you do first, as long as you get all 3 done. You can try to do it all within the same Dark Aether sequence, I guess, and Stamina Up really helps with that. But if not, if you get teleported back to the real world, no big deal. Wait until the portal reappears down there in the particle accelerator room, and then take yourself back to the Dark Aether, finish up the 1 or 2 crystals that you have, go down there and shoot the crate after each crystal, and then it will be ready for you to upgrade. The 3 crystals are located in inaccessible areas in the following locations: Penthouse, on top of the bunker, to the right of Der Wunderfizz, Pond, to the right of the tunnel, and Crash Site, to the right of the tunnel.
Heads up. Slaughter that pig.
After you've finished all 3 of those crystal steps and you put the essence into the weapon crate, walk over to the crate, hold the use button, and you'll upgrade the Die Machine to the Electrobolt. I hope this video helped you out, and I hope that you'll share it and help other people out, because in a sense it's allowing me to help them out. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, and go ahead and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time that I upload a video. If you enjoyed the video and it helped you out, then go ahead and give it a like, a thumbs up if you will. If you didn't enjoy the video and it didn't help you out, then go ahead and give it a thumbs down, a dislike if you will. Don't forget to check out the video description for links to the other videos that I've posted, like the Aetherscope and the Pack-a-Punch, because some steps in those will help you with some of the steps on this video. Also, sometime in the near future, I'm going to be posting a video on the spectral reflection so you can see how to locate all of the ghosts using the Aetherscope. Once that video has posted, I'll put its link in the video description here. Until then, I hope the video helped you out, as I said earlier. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and before I go, I will say that the Electrobolt is probably my favorite upgrade for the Die Machine. It definitely does some serious damage to the zombies and the plague hounds, and the megatons. So if you want to lower the elite's health, and you have a challenge or something like that that you need to get elite kills with on another weapon, this is the best way to go, in my opinion. Take care, everybody.